Imagine a tribe in West Africa, thousands of years ago, discovering hidden stars and celestial bodies that modern science could only confirm centuries later. From the enigmatic Sirius B to the intricate rings of Saturn and moons of Jupiter, the Dogon people's intricate knowledge of cosmology is so astounding to say the least and will leave you spellbound and questioning everything you thought you knew about ancient wisdom. Legends and myths are present in every community, but the mind-boggling narratives surrounding the Dogon people are uniquely perplexing and continue to gain credence with each new discovery. For years, researchers have delved into the vast range of mysteries surrounding these people, and their expertise in astronomy and the universe will leave everyone wondering. Could extraterrestrial beings have visited them and imparted their knowledge upon them, as they say? The Sirius system is made up of 2 or possibly 3 stars. Sirius A, which is the brightest star in the night sky and is visible to the naked eye, and its invisible companion, Sirius B, which these people seem to have a very detailed knowledge about. Someone may ask what the big deal is. Well, the thing is, back in 1862, American astronomer Alvin Clark was the first to spot Sirius B using an incredibly advanced telescope. But it wasn't until almost a century later, in the 1970s, that we could confirm the existence of this star and even snap a photograph of it. So how on earth did the Dogon people have a remarkably thorough knowledge about this mysterious star system centuries before we did? In 1931, a French anthropologist, Marcel Grial, visited the Dogon people and discovered their startling knowledge. They described their creator gods, who they called Namo, as mermaid-like humanoid fishes that descended from the sky in a whirlwind of a storm of thunder, smoke, and lightning. These gods needed a watery environment to live in, but they could also come on land, and the day of their arrival is named the Day of the Fish. Other cultures like Mesopotamia and ancient Greece also feature similar amphibious godlike creatures, despite being geographically and historically distant. Some have even drawn a connection between the Dogon and the Dog in Japan. The dog statues bear resemblance to an astronaut or beings wearing a spacesuit and are believed to have arrived in flying ships, bringing many aspects of civilization to Japan. Interestingly, ancient Mesopotamian lore depicts a fish god named Dagon, who was revered in early Babylon and Assyria and is often portrayed as a merman or fish god in monuments. What shocked the world wasn't these legends, but where they said these amphibious gods came from. A star that no one knew existed until 1862, which was long after the Dogons claimed they knew of its existence. Did the Dogon people beat both ancient civilizations and modern science in this field? Ancient civilizations like the Greeks, Persians and Romans also believed that these extraterrestrial creatures hailed from Sirius, but none touched on Sirius B. So how did the Dogon people know about it first, with knowledge predating modern astronomy? The ancient Egyptians went to great lengths to honor Sirius. They based their calendar on this star and even aligned the pyramids on the Giza complex to Orion's belt, which points directly to Sirius. In addition, the people of ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia constructed their dwellings to mimic the constellation where Sirius shone. Now, according to the Dogon, they were certain that their gods didn't come from Sirius A, a star which is very visible in the evening sky, but from its tiny companion, a once mighty star which is now dying, called Sirius B. Today, it is an Earth-sized ember which is too faint to be seen and can only be spotted with advanced high-powered telescopes. Sirius A is the brightest star in Earth's night sky and one of the closest stars to us at 8.6 light-years away, thus the reason it can be seen without much trouble. Sirius B, on the other hand, can only be seen with advanced telescopes due to its small size and proximity to the much brighter Sirius A. Now, the Dogon people knew about the invisible companion star to Sirius. How could they have this knowledge? Did they possess advanced technology, or is there a deeper, more mysterious explanation? The Dogon had an outstanding degree of knowledge about this Sirius system. They know Sirius A is larger than the Sun, and the state of Sirius B, being a dying star that is extremely dense and way past its prime. They also know that Sirius A has twice the mass of the Sun, and its bluish-white color indicates that it is much hotter than the surface of the Sun. This comprehension doesn't end here, as they know that Sirius B has an elliptical orbit around the bright Sirius A, which took about 60 years. Researchers, however, state that the orbit period is 50 years. The Dogon people possessed knowledge about another elusive star in the Sirius system, known as Sirius C. They believed it to be a red dwarf star, larger than Sirius B, but not as bright. The intriguing aspect is that this star was only hypothesized in the 1950s. Gravitational studies conducted in 1995 suggested the existence of a brown dwarf star, Sirius C, orbiting around Sirius with a 6-year orbital period. The irregular movements of Sirius B have also led experts to consider on the possibility of a third star influencing its orbit. Nevertheless, the debate regarding the existence of a third star in the Sirius system remains unresolved. For thousands of years, these people have also known about our position in the Milky Way galaxy that Westerners didn't discover until much later. They knew perfectly well that the Sun was the center of our solar system and that the Earth orbited around it. The mystery doesn't even end there, as the Dogon also had knowledge of other astronomical phenomena, such as the existence of Jupiter's 4 largest moons, the rings of Saturn, and the orbits of the planets. They also had a sophisticated understanding of the motions of celestial bodies and used this knowledge to develop a calendar system that was based on the cycles of the star Sirius. But here's the mind-boggling part. All these cannot be observed without the help of powerful telescopes and were only discovered after the invention of one. The question of how the Dogon acquired their knowledge without any instruments at their disposal remains unanswered and unexplored. How did they do it? That's a mystery that still baffles scientists to this day. The Dogon's comprehension of astronomy also extends to the human body. It is remarkable that they were able to discover the circulation of blood in the body centuries before it was officially recognized in the 17th century. The Dogon tribe also seems to have had knowledge of a very recent hypothesis, the string theory, well before it was discovered in 1972. The similarities between Dogon mythology and scientific concepts are striking. The story of the creation of the universe by the one true God, Amma, as described in Dogon myths, bears a remarkable resemblance to modern Big Bang theory and other scientific concepts of matter, from atomic theory to string theory. Some sources suggest that these beings who allegedly imparted knowledge and civilization to humans may have also played a role in the development of the Egyptian pharaohs' systems, Greek mythology, and the Mesopotamian civilization, among other things. It also raises the question of whether these gods were responsible for the construction of the pyramids in Egypt, which have remained a profound mystery up to date. As expected, some Western astronomers and researchers have dismissed the idea of extraterrestrial theories as absurd. Instead, they prefer to believe that such knowledge must have come from an advanced but lost civilization on Earth. However, the problem with these contrary voices is that they simply dismiss the knowledge of the Dogon people without offering counter-arguments to the vast and compelling evidence provided by the Dogon. Their insistence that there is no proof of contact with beings from other planets or galaxies is based on the fact that, despite listening to radio signals from outer space for decades, no intelligent sounds have been detected. The skeptics who dismiss this theory fail to consider the 400-year-old artifacts that depict the Sirius Star system's configuration and the Dogon people's ancient ceremonies. These ceremonies date back over 2,000 years and were conducted to observe the cycle of Sirius A and Sirius B and occurred every 60 years, marking a full orbit of the Sirius stars. The skeptics do not also account for the Dogon's knowledge of the superdensity of Sirius B or their understanding of subatomic particles and the creation of the universe, which parallels the Big Bang theory. Some skeptics argue that the knowledge of the Dogon people could have been influenced by European contact, but the sheer volume of artifacts, symbols, woven blankets, and carved statues that embody this knowledge makes it highly unlikely that it could have been adopted so quickly into their culture, especially considering the time frame from when Western astronomers made these discoveries to when Grial began his research in 1931. Given that the Dogon people are predominantly non-Muslim and non-Christian, it appears unlikely that they had extensive interaction with the missionaries who could have imparted this knowledge to them. This indicates that the Dogon might have either acquired this knowledge on their own or had a genuine encounter with extraterrestrial beings. The credibility of the Dogon people's knowledge is strengthened by the fact that they have historical records of Sirius B predating its discovery on Earth. While scientific records show it was not observed until 1862, the Dogon possess artifacts depicting Sirius A, B, and C from over 400 years ago. However, since their knowledge was transmitted through oral tradition, it is possible that some inconsistencies have emerged over time, such as the discrepancy between their estimation of the orbital period. The Dogon claim the orbital period to be 60 years as opposed to the currently accepted value of 50 years. It is also unfair to assume that knowledge could only come from Western world and that other regions had inferior understanding of the world. The Dogon puzzle is indeed fascinating and raises many questions about the origins of knowledge and civilization. The accuracy of their astronomical knowledge, coupled with their ancient artifacts and myths, suggests that their understanding of the universe goes beyond what conventional wisdom would suggest. The knowledge they possess defies explanation and cannot be attributed to observations of the sky made by their predecessors using the naked eye, as was common in other societies. They simply know, and this is the most perplexing part of the Dogon mystery. The question of how they acquired this knowledge remains a puzzle to this day. Were they visited by amphibious aliens as they suggest? Did they possess ancient technical or non-technical means of acquiring knowledge, or is it all simply a coincidence? Whatever the answer, one thing is clear. The Dogon people have challenged our understanding of the universe and opened up new avenues of exploration and inquiry. The quest for knowledge continues, and the Dogon remain an intriguing enigma in the story of human civilization.